Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dig into the secret life of plants. And let me tell you, it's a world of silent battles, brilliant engineering, and some seriously high-stakes survival.
Have you ever looked at a houseplant and just thought it's just kind of there? Like, it's just a green decoration? Well, what if I told you that you're actually looking at a silent warrior in a constant, non-stop battle for its life?
I mean, from the very second a seed sprouts, it is a full-on war against, well, everything. The elements, predators, even its own neighbors. Every single day is a fight just to stay alive. So, let's do it. Let's open up this incredible survivor's playbook and see exactly how plants tackle some of life's biggest challenges, all without moving an inch. Okay, so first up, the problem of thirst. I mean, every living thing needs a drink, right? But how does the plant pull water all the way from the ground up to its tallest leaves, fighting gravity every single inch of the way? Well, the answer is just, it's a masterpiece of physics.
And we are talking about a huge amount of water. Seriously, think of plants as these living fountains. A staggering 97% of the water a plant's roots absorb is just pulled straight up and then released back into the air. It's this massive, non-stop flow system.
So, how do they do it? The secret is actually in the water molecule itself. If you look here, you can see how its atoms are arranged. It gives one side a little positive charge and the other a little negative one. And this polarity is what makes water, for lack of a better word, sticky. And this stickiness gives water two incredible superpowers. First, you've got cohesion. That's just water molecules sticking to each other. Then there's adhesion. That's when water molecules stick to other things, like the inside of those tiny little tubes in a plant's stem.
So you put those two together, cohesion and adhesion, and what do you get? You get a perfect, unbroken chain of water molecules stretching all the way from the roots to the leaves. So as water evaporates from the top, from the leaves, that's called transpiration, it just tugs the entire chain upwards. It's like the plant is sipping through a giant, super long straw. And the best part? It's a completely passive, physics-driven system. It's just brilliant.
All right, so the plant's got its plumbing figured out. Water supply, sorted. But that's just the start, Now it needs food. And that means solving a really weird problem. How do you eat sunlight?
See, unlike us animals who have to go out and eat other things to get energy, plants are what scientists call autotrophs. It basically means they're self-feeders. They literally make their own food from the most basic stuff imaginable. A little CO2 from the air, that water they just pulled up from the soil, and of course, sunlight.
So sunlight, right? It's basically a shower of tiny energy packets called photons. Now, take a look at this electromagnetic spectrum. You've got everything from gamma rays all the way to radio waves. And out of all of that, plants have evolved to use just this tiny, tiny little sliver right in the middle. And guess what? It's the exact same visible light that our eyes can see. Kind of cool, huh?
And this right here answers a classic question you probably asked in grade school. Why are plants green? Well, it's because their main pigment, chlorophyll, is really good at absorbing red and blue light for energy. But it's not so good with green light. It doesn't really need it. So what does it do? It reflects it away. And that reflected green light is what hits our eyes. Now, to be super efficient, a single chlorophyll molecule doesn't just work by itself. No way. Instead, you have hundreds of these pigment molecules all arranged into what's called an antenna complex. They're all working together, kind of like a massive satellite dish, capturing all that light energy and funneling it with incredible speed right into a central reaction center. So let's put it all together. The magic of photosynthesis is basically this amazing three-step process. Step 1, capture sunlight. Step 2, convert that light into stable chemical energy. And step 3, store that energy as sugar. That sugar is the fuel for literally everything the plant does. Okay, so the plant's got water, it's got sugar, it's basically a walking buffet, right? All that hard-won energy makes it a really tempting meal for insects, fungi, you name it. So what happens when something comes along looking for a snack?
Well, here's the thing. A plant can't run away. It's stuck. So what did it do? Over millions of years, plants have become the world's most sophisticated chemists. They produce this enormous arsenal of chemical weapons for self-defense.
And this chemical arsenal is it's incredibly diverse. You've got terpenes, which give us that refreshing smell of mint, but they're also great at repelling insects. Then you have phenolics. That's what makes an unripe fruit taste so bitter and gross, basically telling animals, hey, wait till the seeds are ready. And then you get the heavy hitters, the alkaloids. We're talking about powerful stuff like nicotine. which is a potent natural insecticide, and caffeine. Yeah, caffeine. Plants use it to paralyze and kill pests. And what do? We just kind of borrowed their chemical weapon for our morning coffee.
But wait, it gets even more clever than that. When one leaf gets attacked by, say, a bug, it sends out a chemical SOS. This warning signal basically puts the entire plant on high alert. And get this, the signal can actually travel through the air to warn other plants nearby, telling them, hey, get your defenses ready. It's almost like they're talking to each other. It's wild.
Okay, so for our final challenge, we come to something absolutely crucial: timing. A plant has to know exactly when to grow, when to flower, and when to go dormant for the winter. Because if it gets that timing wrong, yeah, it could be fatal.
So how do they do it? Well, one of their most important tools is something called photoperiodism. It's pretty amazing. Plants have this built-in clock that can precisely measure the length of days and nights. This basically acts like a biological calendar, telling the plant, okay, it's spring, or summer's here, or time to get ready for fall. And that's what triggers big events like flowering. It's a sense we don't have, and it's truly remarkable.
But what happens if you get one of those weird warm spells in the middle of October? To keep from getting tricked into flowering at the absolute worst time, a lot of plants have a backup plan. It's called vernalization. Basically, they won't even listen to the longer days are here signal until they've gone through a long period of cold. It's their way of making sure that spring has really sprung. You could call it an insurance policy against false alarms.
So when you put it all together, their ability to solve these huge fundamental problems of thirst, energy, predators, and timing, you can't help but realize that plants are just true masters of survival. They're perfectly adapted to living their entire lives in one spot. So yeah, the next time you walk past a tree or look at your houseplant, I hope you don't just see a passive green decoration. See it for what it is: a master of physics, a brilliant chemist, and a cunning strategist that has absolutely perfected the art of survival.
This silent, invisible war for survival, it's happening all around us all the time. It's this constant story of resilience playing out in every park, every garden, every forest. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What can this incredible playbook teach us about our own resilience?